What's going on, guys? Welcome to iHeart Crypto. If you like the content, go down and subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, go down and smash up that thumbs up. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart. So, Bitcoin coming in at 43,600. It seems to be going through a little bit of a drop, and let's get right into that. All right. So, in the title, it says Bitcoin's Bart Simpson, and as you can see here, one thing about a Bart Simpson is it looks just like a Bart Simpson head. So you kind of come up, oscillate around a little bit before coming back down. Now, where is this going to go? And it kind of looks just like Bart Simpson's head. Like so. Cowabunga, man. Alright, basically a Bart Simpson. So, what levels are we looking for here? Well, right now we are hitting support on the 15-minute, hitting that 200 MA. Alright, right here. And the other levels of support that we can be looking for in this particular moment, well, right here we have a level of support. Alright, and then way down here, do we have another level of support? So let's just take a look at our VPVR. Alright, right around here, we have another level of support right around here. Let's make that the array. I want this. Alright, so, yeah, we got another level of support right there. And we'll see if Bitcoin comes all the way down to here. And it seems like all of the altcoins are bleeding very, 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 very hard. Of course, it kind of erases all of their gains from yesterday, which was an amazing day, and this is just how the crypto space goes. This is just how it works. So, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Let's just say that. So we are just kind of watching the Bitcoin price fall here. In fact, we are on the 15-minute. It looks like it's stalled out a little bit, but that doesn't mean the dub can't continue. I mean, let's just pop onto these really low time frames. I mean, this thing is really starting to come down, starting to consolidate a little bit over here at 43,600. Although we do know the move is not finished and the momentum is all the way down to the downside. If we take a look at our indicators, on the 1 hour, the RSI has room to fall. On the 4 hour, it definitely has room to fall, and the stock is just kind of curling over. Let's take a look at the 8 hour. It looks like Bitcoin had its run up and it's now wanting to come back down to test these previous supports. And we could be making our way down to maybe $40,000 at the very least. So, on the 15-minute, things are getting a little cooked. So we're right here in the oversold territory, which means that we could have a little bounce up before continuing back down. So it could be a little bit of a long day if you're looking to short the market. What I would suggest is put in your shorts now, leave, and then come back. Right now, Bitcoin is getting that bounce off of that support right here. Just move this up a little bit because here would be your exact support. So will this support, the question is will this support hold, or will we see further downside is the question. Well, we're going to find out in a little bit as we watch the Bitcoin price right here. But let's take a look at the... Oh, that happens every day, doesn't it? Every day. Anyway, let's take a look at the overall crypto market according to CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap coming in at about $2 trillion. All right, Bitcoin dominance up to 42%, up a little bit. Let's see. Bitcoin minus 2%. Solana only down 1%. This can't be right. Look, it says Solana at $100. That can't be right. Where are you? $99. That's definitely not right. Something might be wrong with CoinMarketCap. Let's see. Because Solana is not. Alright, maybe it's right. You know what it is? These are all prices. This is how farther up it was from yesterday. Because if you look at these prices on CoinMarketCap, everything's down like what, 2%. But if you go over here, you can see things are down a lot more. Bitcoin getting that bounce right now off support. Let's see what happens with that. Things are not looking good for the overall crypto market. In fact, let's just dive a little bit deeper in here. So this is your US tethered dominance chart, and we just have this long uptrend of support on the dominance for USDT, and what kind of looked like a little bit of a head and shoulders. Here's a head, here's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, which is typically bearish pattern. Hopefully that would break down, which would send Bitcoin into a rally to the upside. It looks like we came over here. We're getting rejected off of the support line, or rather, we're getting supported on it, and Tether's on its way up, which basically means that money is flowing out of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies into Tether for stable coins, little refuge for those traders. And it looks like we're getting a push up from dominance right there. Not a good sign for Bitcoin, as we do think now it's going to be coming back down a little bit more. But let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index, see where we're at. The Fear and Greed Index up at 51 is neutral. So maybe it is time for a pullback. Whenever the Fear and Greed Index gets up a little bit, things tend to pull back a little bit. So, one more thing before we move on. I keep jumping around, but the Bitcoin dominance looked like it was going to break and maybe send us into a little bit of an alt rally. If it broke this trend line, alts would have just mooned. But right now we are getting rejected off of that line of support. So just another thing to keep in mind if you are into altcoins. So here is your Coin 360 heat map. Let's just refresh this and make sure that we got that it's all up to date. All right. Yeah, sea of red, a big sea of red. So yeah, we are not doing too hot at the moment. Looks like Bitcoin is still coming down a little bit. It's not looking good for Bitcoin. Not looking good at all. So, let's see if this falls. Right now on the 4-hour, it's approaching that 21 EMA, that yellow line right there. Maybe we'll get a bounce off that 21 and start heading back up, or it could cut through it like butter. No one knows where this market is going to go. So let's just take a look at some smaller time frames, because that's where the action is. Yeah, it looks like Bitcoin's going to come back down and just go to the downside. So we are in a short at the moment over here on KuCoin. We shorted Render. In fact, I had this all the way up to $400, and then I overtraded a little bit. Of course, I overtraded a little bit. I saw Algo mooning. I went into that. I lost $10. I mean, I lost like $50 today alone. So let's just hope that this move continues and our short can stay open. So here on Render, Render. In fact, last night it was a little crazy. I was in a long all the way up, and then I exited my long at the start of the new day. So right around here, I exited my long and began to short. Unfortunately, you'll see like right here, where would it have been? It would have been right around here, right here. I entered my short. It was coming down, and then all of a sudden it shot up, and this big scam wick, this liquidation wick went up, and I held it. I held it all the way up. I held it all the way down. I woke up this morning, $20 in profit, about $420 I think I had, and I was good to go. I was definitely good to go. Unfortunately, I got out of there. I took my profit, and I wanted to immediately trade. And one thing is that you can't overtrade. You definitely can't overtrade. So it looks like Bitcoin's getting that bounce. Now, will it continue? Let's check the short. Might need to close that short. Although it's all about conviction. It's all about what you think the Bitcoin price is going to do. What are the technicals telling you? What are the indicators telling you? Right now, it's telling me that Bitcoin wants to have a little bit of a bounce. Will it continue back down is the question. I mean, this could have just been liquidations until we go back up to the upside, kind of test these previous highs before coming back down, or you can come back up, kind of curl over, and head back down. A lot of people were looking at what? It was like an inverse head and shoulders right here, where you had a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. I drew that wrong. It would have been a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. And if that was the case, which I don't think it is, you would have like a measured move all the way up here to like 53K. So, will that play out? I don't know. It doesn't seem to be playing out right about now. So I just don't think that that's what's going to be happening. We're kind of sweating a little bit with this bounce. I don't like that. I wish we were more in profit in our short. But, these dumps can take a while. This could take hours. hours and hours and hours. So, we really don't know what's going to be happening, but I don't think the market's opened up too well. Let's see if we have a handle on the market. The market hasn't opened just yet. So, we don't really... In fact, let's try to take a look at the futures. Yahoo Finance. Live, maybe? Finance.yahoo. Let's see if they have it up at the top here. Futures is down. So this could be a reason why Bitcoin is dumping. So, that's one thing to consider as well. So, I really hope that our short can stay in. I wouldn't be longing here per se. And right here isn't a spot to be shorting anyway. The time to short was up here. I did have a short in up there. Of course, it was a little bit better than where it is now. Right now we are back down. Not looking good here. But, of course, you need to diamond hand these things. If you really do think Bitcoin's gonna bounce here. It might be bouncing. You don't know. Things could be coming back up. If things are coming back up, which it kind of looks like they are, you might want to put in a long and kind of play around with these ranges, But in essence, we don't know what Bitcoin is about to do. It looks like it's having a speedy recovery, which is good. Although these are like little fake pumps, gets everyone all excited and bullish again, and then boom, back down to the downside. Of course, if you're on the 3-minute chart, this is a little bit crazy to be on the 3-minute chart. You really don't want to trade off that. There's the 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart. It's got to come back up. Right now it's testing these previous supports as resistance. So if you do look, it's right around here in this area of 43,700 where you had support and you had a little bit of support up here. But right now it's testing that support in the middle. And if you can get above it, then your next support line or line of resistance now would be $43,860. So, Alright, so while we're waiting for the Bitcoin dump to be going on here, let's just take a look at a few different things here. Let's just check our short going on. Our short right now is having a bit of a bounce. I'm down $5. You don't think this is a lot of money, but if this thing shoots back up, you're screwed. Hopefully it just keeps dumping. I did some technicals on this one, but it's not really respecting the fibs. And right now, on the 8-hour at least, it is hitting our EMAs and kind of getting a bounce off of it. So maybe this move is done, but you never do know. Things could be coming back down real quick. Looks like we had a little bit of a relief bounce, and our red candles are starting to print on our lower time frames. Let's see how it goes. But I tell you what, sometimes the best thing to do is distract yourself in these times. So let's just read a couple news articles here. Avalanche price hits weekly high as DeFi activity booms. Avalanche hit a weekly high of over $97 early this morning as DeFi activity throughout the network picked up following a late January lull. The native token for Avalanche, a speedy alternative to the leading smart contract platform Ethereum, jumped nearly 11% to hit a weekly high of $97.02 early this morning. Led by former Cornell professor of computer science Amin Sayer, Avalanche launched in 2020 and was pitched as a cheaper, more efficient alternative to Ethereum. It allows for many of the same features as Ethereum, including decentralized finance projects and non-fungible tokens. So, here is the 7-day chart for Avalanche. And since the network has emerged as one of the top networks for DeFi activity in particular, by total value locked, TVL, a generic metric for measuring how much money is sloshing around in a protocol, Avalanche is the fourth largest with roughly $11 billion, according to DeFi Llama. All right, pretty big. And one thing about when you have your total value locked is just money locked away in a liquidity pool. And the best thing about it is you can't sell your coins if your money is locked away. So it kind of takes away the liquidity, makes it illiquid, and therefore the price is a little bit more stable and a little bit more safe. Although in crypto, really nothing is safe. But each project has increased its TVL over the past 24 hours by 4.3, 6.5, and 4.5 respectively. So Avalanche is one of our favorite projects. Yesterday it did have one hell of a run up, and right now it seems to be bouncing back pretty nicely. But there's your Avalanche chart right here. Let's take a look at it on the 4-hour. Avalanche has rallied quite a bit from the bottom of the market. It is almost up 70% from the bottom from when Bitcoin was at $33,000. And that kind of makes me feel a little bit bearish. The fact that everyone is so bullish right now with Bitcoin, when everyone else is bullish, maybe it's time for you to be bearish. So, let's just take a look at the USDT. This thing is still running up quite a bit, and that means people are exiting coins like nobody's business. Where would this thing head up to? I mean, the previous high up here at about 4.26. So we'll see how things go. What other thing do I have for you? Warren Buffett invests $1.1 billion in Bitcoin-friendly neobank dumps Visa and MasterCard stocks. The Oracle of Omaha. Ooh. The Oracle of Omaha has more companies in his portfolio and direct and indirect exposure to Bitcoin and similar cryptocurrencies. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway dumped a portion of its Visa and MasterCard holdings and increased exposure to Nubank, the largest fintech bank in Brazil that's also popular among the country's Bitcoin investors. In securities filing on February 14th, the industrial conglomerate disclosed that it had purchased $1 billion worth of Nubank Class A stock in Q4 2021. On the other hand, it sold $1.8 billion and $1.3 billion worth of Visa and MasterCard stock, respectively, signaling a shift away from credit card companies to gain exposure to the fintech rivals. Buffett's additional investment into Nubank shows his acknowledgement of the fintech sector underlying theme of the digitalization of financial services, as well as his willingness to associate with companies that are involved with the cryptocurrency sector. So Warren Buffett, who was a big advocate for anything anti-crypto, now seems to be getting into and getting at least a little bit more exposure to crypto projects or crypto stocks that are involved with Bitcoin. So while Buffett might not invest in Bitcoin directly, he's already gaining indirect exposure as companies in his portfolio into the crypto sector. I don't think I had any other articles for you today. I do not. So yeah, one last look at Bitcoin before we head out. So it looks like we are getting that bounce at the moment. So we'll just see how this goes. We're going to see how this goes the rest of the day. If this support does break, you are looking at about a $42,000 Bitcoin by the end of the day, probably. So we'll take a look. It looks like we're still bouncing. Let's see. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. 5 minutes starting to come back up. You never want to be on the 5-minute though. I'll tell you that. Of course, we need to check our short. We are down quite a bit. Now, do we keep that short open is the question. I'm kind of tired of losing trades today, so I think I might just keep that open. Render's having a little bit of a bounce, but these are just relief bounces. In the grand scheme of things, could be heading back down. And in fact, if you do lose your trade, you can always kind of long it again. Of course, you don't want to be playing both sides of these kinds of things, and you don't want to be putting it along right now. I mean, granted, the price jumped up 2%. Now would not be the time to long. You don't know which direction the market is going in, and everything like Gallup, for example, seems to be cooked on the 15-minute, oversold, very, very oversold. But on the 1 hour, you still has room to run down. So a lot of these things are kind of play it by ear type deals. So we will be playing our trades by ear today. Hopefully we do not lose all of our profits that we made yesterday. We've already lost almost like $100 of our profits. Shit gets crazy. Shit just gets crazy. All right, Alexa, turn off. So, yeah, that is it for today. All right, everybody stay safe out there and be careful. Don't panic sell your crypto. Protect your capital. All right, have a great day, everybody.